Welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Hex.
And I am Darren. And I am ringing. Ring, 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 ring. Oh, hello, Barjo.
Hey guys, I'm a bit sick and the doctor says I need to stay in bed for a couple of days. Don't worry though, I've arranged a replacement. Be warned, he is a bit of a noob, and Darren, you're gonna have to switch off your lasers.
Oh, well, thanks, Barjo, and get well soon. Come in?
Hey guys.
Oh, hey, Goose.
Hi, Goose. Oh, have you seen a noob wandering about? Barjo's sick and he's arranged a replacement.
No, but Darren, I'm the replacement. So
I think Barjo's saying that Goose is a noob. Oh, well, welcome to the Den of Gaming, Goose. I think we'll have loads of fun. We've got heaps of games to review, so let's get to it.
Affirmative. But you are a noob, you know.
Come on. Hex, I've always been into the idea of haunted houses. It's not that I actually find them that scary. In fact, they're actually pretty lame. But it's all part of their charm, and now there's a Kinect game that recreates that same lovable, lame, non-scariness, and it's called Haunt.
To begin with, you find yourself inexplicably dumped in a haunted house, and straight away you meet its owner, Benjamin Muldoon.
Hey, who's that handsome fellow? Why, it's me, Benjamin. Surprise!
But as you can see, he's been trapped inside the paintings in the house by ghosts, so it's up to you to bust those ghosts and free him.
To rescue Benjamin, you'll need to navigate your way around the house to track down 4 Fanta flasks to free him from his painted jail. Even though he's trapped, Benjamin doubles as your guide. He gives you tips and explains any new controls.
Good work. Now, we can't go anywhere until you get a train car onto these tracks. Luckily, I think there's a workshop nearby.
And I thought Haunt made a pretty decent use of the Kinect. You control the camera and interact with the world with your torch, which you use by acting as if you're actually holding a torch. By pointing it to the edge of the screen, you'll look and turn in that direction, or by pointing it at an object, you'll interact with it. It's a full-body game with completely free navigation, so you can go pretty much anywhere you want. We've seen another game try this before, but it was pretty terrible, so it's nice to see Haunt doing a half-decent job of it.
To move forward, you simply have to walk on the spot, which I'm told works well. My automated mobility baseplate proved rather incompatible with the controls. Independently operated legs are a requirement.
Well, for those of us who do have independently operating legs, there is an option called assisted movement, which is activated by default. This basically makes the game a little bit more on rails by automatically turning the camera as you go around corners and automatically walking down any hall that you point your torch at.
Yeah, but I kind of found myself turning this off. It's sort of like you're fighting with the camera the whole time it's on, plus the controls are easy enough to wrangle without it.
The majority of the game is based loosely on old adventure games. As you wander around the house, you'll find locked doors or impassable barriers, and you'll need to find the correct items to progress. There's very little real puzzle solving, you simply need to find the right item and use it.
The house is also divided into 3 main areas, each slanted towards a particular way to use the Kinect. The motility vaults focus mostly on basic movements and operating machinery. Then the luminarium focuses on your eyes by throwing light puzzles at you and getting you to protect your eyes from blinding ghosts. You have to use your voice in the auditorium. You use it to defeat ghosts, and then you have to block your ears to protect yourself from screaming ghosts. I mean, they're basically pulling out every trick in the Kinect book.
Yeah, the fights with the ghosts themselves, though, are pretty straightforward. Haunt will always prompt you with the exact movement you need to make, and it gives you plenty of time to do so. I found that it just got a bit samey after a while. It was duck this, punch that, shine your torch and repeat. I just would have liked it more if it let me fight with my own style. But as it is, you're kind of just doing a bunch of Kinect-enabled events with basically zero freedom.
Yeah, but I felt like there was enough variety in the ghosts to stop the combat from getting too repetitive, but I agree it was way too simple. In fact, it's almost impossible to lose at this game unless you're really trying to. And there's heaps of extra health and lives lying around everywhere. We didn't even need to use an extra life once. It's that easy. Right, Goose, what are you giving it?
Oh, okay. Well, Haunt's a fun little distraction of a game, and I thought it was a nice little heart-pumping haunted romp. The problem is it's probably only going to take you about an afternoon to complete, so I'm giving it a 7.
Well, I quite liked it too. It's got that Scooby-Doo vibe to it. It's perfect for some spawnings in the mood for some ghost busting. And the sound effects are all spot on. Creaky doors and the echo of your footsteps, and the soundtrack is pulled straight out of Ghostbusters. I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Right, so what do we usually do next?
Well, usually one of us goes to read the news, so did you want to Give it a go? Do you think you can handle it?
Really?
Yeah.
All right, first time.
He's totally gonna mess it up.
Affirmative.
I can hear you. Okay, News. This can't be that hard. Well, I'm News, and this is the Goose. Hannah Wyman is only an 11-year-old 5th grade student, but she's already designed a game and even shown it to the President of the United States, Barack Obama. Hannah won the grand prize in the first Kodu Cup, a new competition where kids between 9 and 17 years old are challenged to create a game using the Kodu Lab Development Program. For her efforts, she won a grant for her school, as well as a chance, along with 30 other students, to show their games to the President. Several independent developers, including Minecraft developer Mojang, have raised over $400,000 for a charity in a single weekend. Mojang joined forces with Oxeye Game Studio and Wolfire Games to create 3 games in 60 hours and sell them as a pay-what-you-want bundle. The bundle sold over 80,000 copies, raising approximately $425,000. All proceeds went to several charities, including Child's Play and Red Cross America. A team of Australian scientists has developed a transistor that is made of one single atom. For comparison, a human hair is approximately 1 million atoms wide. A transistor is a device that can amplify and switch electronic signals and is an essential part of modern electronics, such as our computers and game consoles. As transistors become smaller, computers and electronics can also become smaller, more powerful and more energy efficient. It's expected this breakthrough will help develop super-fast quantum computers almost 10 years ahead of their previous estimates. Oh, that wasn't too hard. Now, where's the studio? Okay guys, news completed. How did I go?
Not bad, Goose. Not bad at all.
Acceptable.
Well, we know a lot of you Spawnlings are massive FIFA fans, but did you guys know that there are also real pro soccer players who love the game just as much?
Well, we caught up with James and Peter from Melbourne Victory and found out why they love soccer both on the field and in the game.
Whoa, careful. You're right, Goose.
Okay.
No.
Hi, I'm Jimmy.
Hi, I'm Peter.
We play football for the Melbourne Victory.
We also play video games. I first started playing football when I was 9. That's the first time I joined the club.
I started playing when I was 5 or 6 in Austria because I grew up over there. We moved over to Australia when I was 10 and played in some of the local teams and then went to the Victorian Institute of Sport and through the youth team here.
I play centre-back.
I play centre mid, so in the middle of the park.
I'm right in front of the goalkeepers and I'm trying to stop the other team from scoring goals. I guess I've just always loved playing football from a young age. I've always been playing with my 2 brothers in the backyard at the front of the house.
And then as you get older and things start getting more competitive, you enjoy, you know, the competitive side of it and trying to win and trying to do well.
The best thing about being a professional footballer is waking up in the morning and you get to go to training and you go home and you pretty much repeat that every day of the week.
The biggest thing about it is getting to do what you love and waking up each day, you know, knowing you're going to go into work and enjoy what you're doing. I play video games when I'm relaxing around the house, when I just have a nice relaxing day. You can play video games whether it's on your own or you're playing with your mates.
My favourite game growing up was probably FIFA.
In FIFA 12, I normally like to play as Chelsea, so a big, strong team, a lot of quick players.
I don't know if I'm a better gamer than Jimmy, but we'll probably find out soon.
I think we'll say we're even.
Well, that's a good pass.
I enjoy playing video games with Jimmy because we've always got competitive games and it's always good for a laugh.
Saving tackle.
We're piling on the pressure here. We always seem to have decent games. We're pretty evenly matched, so pretty competitive. There's always a bit of banter flowing. Go on, son. Make a name for yourself.
When you're chilling in your spare time and you're resting and you're enjoying yourself, so maybe you're feeling a bit fresher when you get to training the next day.
My most memorable gaming moment had to be maybe 5 or 6 years ago now with my brother, and we had a game of FIFA and he was 5-0 up and I came back, I got it to 5-all and then eventually with about 2 minutes to go scored to make it 6-5 and he turned off the PlayStation, which I didn't like at all. And after that it was on. I don't think we spoke for 2 or 3 days. We always make up with another game, so.
My hopes for the future would be to continue playing games for the Melbourne Victory and try to become the best player I possibly can become, and whether that be in A-League or overseas or whatever, just keep working hard and see where I can go.
Playing as many games as I can, playing regularly, and doing the best I can and going from there. So whatever happens, happens.
My top tip for real-life football would be train hard and enjoy it, and you never know what can happen.
And if you enjoy playing, you'll do it more often, and that's how you'll improve, so.
No.
Yes. Tactical genius there, Jimmy.
He must have been offside. He was offside. It's a glitch.
Comes on, wins the game.
It's a glitch.
Costly there, Jimmy.
Unbelievable.
There he is. Massive
It's a substitute as well.
Tactical genius.
Hope you enjoyed it. We have. See you next time.
All right, well, while you sort yourself out, Goose, Darren, why don't we go to our spawn point?
Affirmative.
Oh, Goose.
No, Darren! Ah!
Careful, noob.
Watch out!
Hot stuff coming through.
All right, Darren, now you remember how this works. The spawnlings send in questions and we have to answer them, but we don't get too technical or long-winded or anything like that. Well, sometimes Barjo does, but Barjo's not here and you're here and you have to pick up the slack.
Affirmative. Who's first?
Well, let's answer this one from Ninja Cow in Ninja Cowland, which is in Western Australia, apparently. Hello, GGSP! I hope you answer this question because I will be really happy. So I just got the GGSP Minecraft world and hid a good look around and in the big house with the water and the lava falls, and I went in the cheat room and I looked in the one with the diamond and saw that you had more that 64. And I really think you cheated making the Minecraft. Or you spent like 45, 7, 3 gazillion, trillion, bagillion, 47 hours playing. Please answer so I can know. Darren is the best gammer ever.
Hex, my internal map reveals there's no such location as Ninja Cowland in Western Australia.
I know, Darren, but the spawnlings often make up the names of places. I think it's cute. But more importantly, what about the question?
Huh?
Well, did you cheat to get all those diamonds in our Minecraft world? Because we do not tolerate cheating on Good Game.
Negative. I didn't cheat.
Well, there you go, Ninja Cow. We didn't cheat, but we did spend a very long time on it. Not quite 4 kajillion hours, though.
The number is 4.5 nonillion, Hex. A kajillion is not a real number.
I know, Darren. Well, I didn't actually know it was a nonillion because, well, no one cares. Anyway, let's move on to this one from Alistair in Port Kennedy, Western Australia.
What state is your studio in? And also, what Ratchet & Clank game on PS3 would you recommend? You guys are awesome! Thank you for your question, Alistair. At the moment, Goose is rolling around on our studio floor, but usually our studio is a mess. Barjo is constantly leaving games out of their cases and dropping candy wrappers all over the place. Then the games get chocolate on them and I have to...
Darren, I think he meant state as in state, you know, like New South Wales or Northern Territory.
The Northern Territory is not a state, Hex. It's a territory.
I know, Darren. It was just an example. Anyway, Alistair, our studio is in New South Wales. It's just in the middle of Sydney.
As for which Ratchet & Clank game to get, I would recommend any of the 3 games in the Future trilogy, which include Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, and A Crack in Time.
Whoa, I know. So much for clean underwear.
But if you can only get one, I'd probably say Tools of Destruction because it's the first one in the Future trilogy, so it's a really good place to start.
All 3 are excellent games, however.
Indeed. But now let's move on to this one from You Should Know in Behind You, Tasmania. What? Hey, Barjo and Hex, you guys make awesome show, both GGSP and Good Game. Now I play lots and lots of video games, and I was wondering if you play heaps of videos, how are you guys still thin? Thanks. P.S. Darren is a bucket of bolts. P.P.S. I want to become a host. P.P.S. Goose is awesome.
A bucket of bolts? A bolt is a type of fastener characterized by a helical ridge, known as an external thread wrapped around a cylinder. I am welded using precision lasers and contain no bolts.
All right, calm down, Darren. I'm sure it was meant as a compliment or something. But to answer your question, it's easy to play games and not get fat. You just have to have gaming as part of a healthy lifestyle. That means eating good food and making sure you do plenty of exercise.
Come on, Darren, just give us one. Come on, Darren, just one, then we can go home. Come on, lift. Come on.
Oh, and get plenty of sleep and drink lots of water too.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on to this one now from Zach in Dundas, New South Wales. What kind of exercise do you do, Darren, to keep fit?
Oh, kettlebell swings, Venusian karate. I fire my laser a lot too.
What's Venusian karate?
Oh, it utilizes pressure points to make people collapse.
Sounds dangerous.
It is.
Well, can you try it on me?
Affirmative. Hey guys, I was wondering when Minecraft for Xbox would come out, and could you give me some info about it, and will you do a review on it when it comes out? Now if I hit this nerve center here, that should make you stick your tongue out. See? Works like a charm. What was that you just said? Should I hit the nerve center to make your tongue go back in your mouth?
Yes!
Sorry?
Yes!
Oh, all right.
Don't ever do that again.
No.
All right, let's get back to the questions.
Affirmative. Well, Zach, there's no confirmed release date for Minecraft on the Xbox yet, but it has been scheduled for some time this year, in either April, May, or June.
And we know it's not actually going to be the final version. Instead, it's going to be based on the beta 1.6.6 version, but they will patch it up to the final version over time.
One big difference to the PC version is the simplified crafting system. Now you'll be able to simply select an item you want to make from the menu, and then, providing you have all the resources, you can just make it. This is an excellent feature for beginners.
There's also going to be some Kinect features, but we don't know what those are going to be yet.
We have already done 3 Minecraft reviews, so perhaps we'll just have a quick look at the XBLA version when it's released.
Good idea. But let's move on to this one from Heartless in Destiny Islands in the Australian Capital Territory, which I believe, Darren, is in fact a territory.
Affirmative! You got that one right.
Thank you. Hey Good Game SP, I was wondering what are some good anime style games? And also, will you be reviewing the new Kingdom Hearts game on the 3DS? Will you be able to give me a preview of it? Will you also be doing a review on Xenoblade Chronicles? Your show is the best, and Hex is the best, and Darren, you need a new hobby besides lasering noobs. From the Heartless on Destiny Islands.
Well, Heartless, there are many excellent anime games out there, so get your notepad out because we've got quite a list. Many of the Dragon Ball Z games are excellent fighting games. Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit for the 360 and PS3 is good, but Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 for the PlayStation 2 is considered by many to be the best of the Dragon Ball games.
And a lot of the Naruto games are also worth playing too. The Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series on PS3 and 360 are decent fighters, and Naruto Rise of the Ninja and Broken Bond for 360 are great adventure games as well.
And of course there's Chrono Trigger, which was originally a Super Nintendo game and is widely hailed as one of the best RPGs ever. It has been re-released recently for iPhones, Wii, DS, and PS3, so it's easy to track down.
And speaking of re-releases, they're bringing out HD versions of the PlayStation 2 classics Zone of the Enders 1 and 2. They'll be coming out for PS3 and 360 later this year. And they've got some awesome fighting robot action.
And the Tales of games are excellent JRPGs, or Japanese role-playing games. The most recent, Tales of Exilia for the PS3, is arguably the best in the series so far. But they're all quite good, and you can find games in the series on almost every platform. Tales of Vesperia is on 360 and PS3, Tales of Graces is on Wii and PS3, and Tales of Hearts and Tales of Innocence are on the DS, to name just the most recent ones.
The Ace Attorney games on DS are really great too if you love doing a bit of detective work.
And The World Ends With You is a highly enjoyable JRPG for the DS, made by the same team that worked on one of the Kingdom Hearts games, so I'm sure you would enjoy that.
Well, that's a pocket load of games right there. Hopefully you like the look of a few of those suggestions, Heartless. But as for the rest of your question, we will definitely be reviewing Kingdom Hearts 3D for the 3DS. And here is a quick sneak peek. Take it away, Darren.
Affirmative.
カジモド、魔物はどこへ行った？大聖堂の屋上。わかった。
Barjo and Hex have already reviewed Xenoblade Chronicles, but because it's an M-rated game, it was only shown on our adult show. But if your grown-ups don't mind, then you can watch that review on our website.
Yeah, we loved it too. I gave it 9.5 and Barjo gave it 9, so it's a really great game.
The phone! The telephone!
Darren, it might be Barjo. Hello?
Hi, Hex.
Oh, hi Barjo. Are you feeling any better?
I was wondering if you could please send me some of your magical healing soup.
Barjo, of course I could make you some of my magical healing soup. I'll mix them up and bring it right over. Okay, but...
I think I really need it. I've got a bit of a sore throat.
Oh, which cat? Okay. And what were you playing? Can't you just tell me all this when I get there? I mean, I'm really... I'm just gonna leave that there and Barjo can talk. Make sure that Goose hasn't messed up the studio. I've got to go help Barjo.
Oh, affirmative. Spawnlings, if you have any questions for us, you can send them to us here. Right, now back to the studio. Let's see how Goose is doing. Oh, are you feeling better, Goose?
Yeah, I'm okay, Darren. You're pretty heavy, though.
Negative.
All right, well, while Hex is away taking some of her healing soup to Barjo, why don't we review Scribblenauts Remix?
Affirmative. Just get this out of the way. Right. The first Scribblenauts came out on the DS back in 2009, and it caused a sensation because it promised to be a game where you could create absolutely anything and then see how those things interact. It didn't quite live up to the hype, but it still let you try out some crazy experiments. God versus the devil, vampires versus zombies, it was anything goes. Unfortunately, with all those weird combinations, it also meant it was rather buggy.
Yeah, that's right, but Scribblenauts Remix is a new game for mobile devices that combines levels from the previous 2 DS games and compresses the strengths and weaknesses of the previous titles into 40-odd levels. For those who came in late, Scribblenauts puts you in control of Maxwell, a little chap in a rooster hat. He needs to reach a starite to finish each level, and it only appears when you solve puzzles. None of the marathon platform challenges from the original are here. Instead, all the puzzles are fairly short and to the point. Some only require a single action for our hero to get his hands on that special star stuff.
Maxwell's world is very meta. All the humans and animals are jointed together like paper cutouts, and the vehicles and backgrounds look like sets in a play. It's all an elaborate puppet show. The creators clearly have a sense of humour.
The controls are pretty simple. You simply touch and hold anywhere to move Maxwell, or you drag 2 fingers to control the camera, but you'll have to use the American spelling of words like colour and centre.
I was more concerned about the loose use of synonyms. Enter tank and APC and you get exactly the same thing, when in reality they are very different vehicles. Enter Harrier and you get a bird.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but it's not that big of a deal, is it, Daz? See what I did there? I went and Americanized you.
Affirmative. The problem is that there are too many layers between you and the game. You tap out words on an imaginary keyboard on the finicky touchscreen. Robot. R-O-B-R.
Well, it might be a bit difficult for your pass to scoop hands, Darren, but there is the option to now use voice control.
Affirmative, but only on the very latest phones.
Yeah, good point.
Then there's the unpredictable, glitchy movement of the game characters and objects. Plus there's the bizarro world logic of how all those objects interact. Sometimes the results make little sense.
Well, let's not forget that this version is a port, which means it's an entirely different developer. Sometimes ports feel seamless, but sometimes it feels like they're banging a square peg in a round hole.
Affirmative. Sometimes you feel like you're in complete control, but the very next moment you feel like you're wearing mittens on top of washing up gloves, trying to do a crossword puzzle in another language.
Good description. Well, that's the kicker, isn't it? Scribblenauts Remix is sort of a guessing game where you guess the best way how to guess. You throw something against a wall and see if it sticks, so it's more of a toy than a game. 6.5 from me, Daz.
It was amazing when it was new, but now the novelty is definitely worn off. I could only really recommend this if you've never played a Scribblenauts before. 6 rubber chickens from me.
Let's see what happens if we put a robot against a ninja.
Oh, try it. A giant robot.
Giant robot?
Yes, against a tiny ninja.
I can guess who's going to win that one.
Oh, could go either way.
Ninja.
Negative.
Okay.
So, how is he?
Well, let's take a look.
Looks like your healing soup worked, Hex.
Yep, he'll be back next week, but thanks so much for helping us out, Goose. It's been great having you here.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Oh, we're already getting some viewer feedback on your performance.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's see, 11%. Think you're doing a good
And
job.
next week on the show, we'll be checking out an indie platformer called Scary Girl.
And I'll be busy checking out an amazing chiptunes festival where composers use old game hardware to write music.
Let's see, 22% said you looked like a noob when you fell over. Oh, and 33% are asking if Barjo's grown a beard.
All right, Spawnlings, well, we'll see you next week. Hex out.
Goose out.
Darren out.
I don't look like him. It's just, you know.
It's a completely different person. He just has a beard.
It is confusing.
I'm handsomer.